Ramona. Today I'm going to show you some projects using these little clay flowers. The first one is a lip gloss container which has been covered up with beads glued on with jewelry glue and a flower accent. This keychain is for digital pictures, and I glued on the 3 roses in the corner before adding the rest of the glued on beads. These are glass-headed sewing pins that look like this, and I simply rolled the clay over the bead, making the flower. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, over here we start with our clay. Pinch a piece off. Then roll it out with your hand until you have a noodle. Okay, after you have your noodle, take your thumb and press it out until it's a thin, flat ribbon. From there, you gently roll with your fingertip. The key here is to just really give it a light touch and periodically to pause and flare out the edge like that. See? Now, I'm trying to keep the camera so I can show you what's going on. Trust me, this is a lot easier without having to film it. So, here you have your small clay rose. At this point, if you wanted to use this as a button, you could pierce it several times with a pin to make a hole in it big enough so that you could pass a needle and thread through it to sew it onto your garment or as a decoration on whatever you want to put it on. You can also press it down just a little bit to flatten it out, and at this point it's also good to just kind of check the edges and make sure the edges of the rose flare out the way you'd like them to. It should come out looking really something nice like this. And each rose is just a little bit different. Notice how each rose looks just a little bit different. Okay, once you have your roses done, then you're ready to bake them in the oven. I put them in a toaster oven on a sheet like this, and they are only baked for a very short time. I put mine in the oven for about 250 degrees for just a couple of minutes, not very long at all. And watch it carefully. If the rose begins to turn brown, that means it's overcooked. So it's better to cook it a little less, and be sure you have an oven mitt to check on it and make sure that it hasn't been overcooked. If you leave it in really too long and actually burn it, you can end up with a gothic black rose, which I've done too. So you have to be really careful about not overcooking. Anyhow, these are just a lovely accent, and they're fun gifts if you know someone who sews. These are great. Make sure you only use a glass-headed pins, as the plastic-headed pins will melt in the oven, and that would not be good. So this is a glass-headed pin, and these other 2 ideas are great gifts. Thank you. Have a great day.